Hey everybody, it's Josh. Welcome to the Landlord Harassment Channel. Now, got a little gripe today. When I was merging onto the freeway, coming back here from Walmart, somebody ahead of me on the on-ramp was merging very slowly. And so I went around him, which is totally illegal, but I'm not going to play around when you're on a merging ramp, right? You're supposed to be up to speed by the time you hit the freeway. That's what the ramp is for. Anyway, when I get past this guy, I notice that he's texting. Now, I can't even begin to explain to you how much this pisses me off. I might just throw in some profanity today. Screw it. Whatever laws there are against texting and driving, there should be a separate, much harsher penalty for texting while merging. Now, I have actually been guilty of texting and driving on occasion if something's really important. I don't do it. I try not to do it. But I do end up doing it once or twice a year. But here's the thing. When I'm texting and driving, I'm driving down a straight road. I'm not changing lanes. And I sure as heck ain't merging. But people here in Iowa, they will actually be on their looking down at their phone while they're merging onto the freeway. And I know people do it everywhere, but people here in Iowa do it all the time. So I'm going to put it out there like this. Texting while merging should carry the stiffest penalty one could possibly get. It should be an automatic 5 years in prison the first time you do it. And if you do it again, you should lose your license for life. Yeah, I said life. How are you going to be such a piece of shit to show no regard for others to the point where you are actually looking down at your phone, not paying attention to the road, while you're merging onto a freeway where cars are doing 70 plus miles per hour? And you're going slow as hell anyway, so you're already setting yourself up for a crash, even if you are paying attention, because you're going like 25 or 30 miles an hour. That's top with the fact that you're looking at your phone and not even paying attention while you're merging. Assault should be legal in some cases. Assault and battery should be perfectly legal in some cases. It used to be, but we have draconian laws today, and it is what it is. But this is something, I'm not big on more laws and more police and stuff like that. And you'll know that if you see my other videos. But if you're texting and driving, you should get a big fine, obviously. But if you're texting and merging, that should be an automatic felony, automatic prison, and you only get one chance to get it right. So if you do it again after your prison time, you've lost your license for life. I can't think of a more dangerous thing to do. Can you? It would almost be like bungee jumping into a crowd intentionally. Imagine how dangerous that would be. I don't know what to compare it to, but it's really, really dangerous. And these Iowa drivers, I'll tell you right now, I'm from Milwaukee. I've been all over the country. Iowa drivers are the worst drivers in the country. They are so goddamn slow. They will sit right at the speed limit all day long, let a huge line of traffic develop right behind them, and just not give a shit. I mean, they just don't care. And I mean, they're slow about everything they do. They merge slowly, like I told you. Slow merging itself should be a felony. Like, how are you going to merge doing 40 miles per hour when oncoming traffic is doing 70 plus? Like, who does that, man? These Iowans who do that. That's who does that. But they're slow about everything, and this is why they cause so much congestion and crashes. When you're at a stoplight and the light turns green, these Iowans just sit there for a few more seconds usually. And sometimes it's like for 15 or 20 seconds. They take forever to make a turn. They take forever to get going when they finally do get going. I could go on and on with the way these Iowa drivers do it. Everything they do takes a shit ton longer than it has to. And that's when they have their eyes on the road. And the reason for that is because these Iowans just can't be bothered to pay attention. It's arrogance is what it is. They think driving is an excuse to daydream. They are not at all engaged with their surroundings, nor do they care to be. It pisses me off. It's just the most arrogant thing in the world. And this is why you see crashes in Iowa that you will never, ever see anywhere else. People hitting little children at crosswalks and stuff. How did you hit that kid at that crosswalk? You're an Iowa driver. You just sat there for 3 or 4 more seconds after the light turned green anyway. That's plenty of time for you to see a kid crossing the street. And you still hit him. Only in Iowa. Only in Iowa. Oh, man. But everything they do is slow as hell. They're the worst drivers in the country. I hate getting into my car in Iowa. Every time I get into my car, I feel like I'm the only one that went to driver's ed whenever I'm driving around Iowa drivers. And the only Iowa drivers that are good or that are tolerable are the ones in like the border towns, like Dubuque and Davenport and all that. They're okay. But once you get in state 30 or 40 miles or more, everybody's going to be slow as hell. Speed limit at the fastest. And like I said, they're going to let people line up behind them and just not care. Down Mortensen Road here, there's this 4-way stop. I forget what the cross street is. They just put in a stoplight like 6 months ago. And now, if you're from out of state and you see where this stoplight is, there's nothing really around it. And so you would think there's no good reason to have a stoplight there, right? Because anywhere else, it doesn't make sense. This is like a country road. You know what I mean? It's like nothing but farmland at this particular 4 corners. But here in Iowa, it makes sense because these Iowans, like I said, do not know how to drive, and they really don't know how to handle a 4-way. These Iowans will create a half-mile to mile-long backlog at a 4-way stop, even when there's barely any cross traffic coming. It's just insane. You're supposed to look left, look right, go. What they do is they look right for 10 seconds, look left for 10 seconds, then look ahead for 10 more seconds, and then they finally get going. I don't even think they take driver's ed here in Iowa. I really don't. Absolute worst drivers in the country. Anyway, back to the main focus of this, which is the texting while merging. It should be an automatic 5 years in prison for texting while merging. And if you do it again, you should lose your license for life. I just can't think of a more selfish, dangerous, reckless thing that somebody can do. I'm not talking about texting while driving. I'm talking about texting while merging, while you're on an on-ramp, merging onto a freeway. How fucking stupid can you be? How fucking selfish can you be? That's all I got for you guys today. Cash App's link down below. Please show your love. Talk to you guys soon.